Hey guys, Lya here and welcome to my booktube channel. So yeah, this is my first video. I'm actually a little bit nervous because I don't really know how booktube works. Like, I've seen booktube videos and I've been obsessed with booktube videos, but now it's like I'm doing it, and like, I'm a little bit nervous because I want to do this right. So for my first booktube video, June just started. It's a new month, which means we have a new TBR upon us, or at least I do. I'm trying to have one. Like, I'm really proud of all the books I read in May, even though none of them were part of my TBR because I didn't really make a TBR in May, but I'm trying to get this system down in June. But without further ado, let's get started. So I have a total of, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books because it's currently June 7th and I have already read or finished 3 books in June. The one that I have completely read in June was Verity by Colleen Hoover. This is not a wrap-up. I will do this in the June wrap-up video, but it is Verity by Colleen Hoover. It was on my TBR at the beginning of the month and I already read it. It has been annotated. I will show you in the June wrap-up. Basically, we have Lya. She's a writer and she is hired to finish a series written by Verity Crawford, which she is a very important, prestigious thriller suspense writer or something like that, and Verity goes through an accident that she cannot finish the book, so Lya is hired to finish Verity's books. And when Lya arrives at the house, she finds some secrets, some things by Verity that could jeopardize her relationship with her husband Jeremy, and Lya finds those secrets, and she is in this dilemma between letting those secrets come out into the light or keeping them to herself to not damage this family. And it's a whole drama here, and I'm messed up with this book. I'll talk about it more in my June wrap-up. Yeah, this was the first book in my June TBR. Next, let's see. But let's go with another Colleen Hoover book. It's a theme that we're going with. This Girl by Colleen Hoover. This is the 3rd installment in the Slammed series. And the Slammed series basically is a romance between Lya and her newfound neighbor, because she just moved with her family to, I don't even know the city where they move in, and basically she goes to school and then she finds out he's her teacher. This is not a spoiler, by the way. I think it's not a spoiler. Oh my god, is it a spoiler? If it is, then we will have a danger zone mark when I'm talking about this book. And basically, it's a forbidden romance and they try to, face their obstacles so that they can be together. And this is the 3rd installment in the series. I'm not gonna talk a bit more about it since this is the 3rd book. And by the 3rd book, if I talk about this, I will be spoiling book 1 and 2. So yeah, this is the 3rd book. I cannot wait to finish the series. Like, I'm not very good with series. Like, I am good, but at the same time I'm not, because I don't like being too long with the series. Am I focused? I feel like I am not. So yeah, the 3rd book in the Slammed series. This is one of her first series, I believe. Like, Slammed, I think, was Colleen's first book, so it feels like a little bittersweet. Like, this book was actually published. Verity was published in 2018, I believe, and this one was published in 2013. So I am gonna cry in the month of June because I am going to read You've Reached Sam. I'm just gonna read the little synopsis because, like, come on. It says, 17-year-old Julie Clark has her future all planned out. Move out of her small town with her boyfriend Sam, attend to college in the city, spend a summer in Japan. But then Sam, her boyfriend, dies and everything changes. Heartbroken, Julie skips his funeral, throws out his belongings, and tries everything to forget him. But a message Sam left behind in her yearbook forces memories to return. Anyways, desperate to hear him one more time, Julie calls Sam's cell phone just to listen to his voicemail recording, But guess what? Sam picks up the phone. What? Sam picks up the phone. I'm not gonna keep reading the synopsis. Like, what? Sam picks up the phone, but he's dead. Like, I need to know more about this. Like, is it because is he alive, or is she going crazy? Is this like a grief processing, or is he alive? Like, I need to know what happens to Sam. I need to know what happens in this book, You've Reached Sam, like, by Dustin Thau, by the way. Like, I need to know. It's a pretty short book. I feel like I can read this in 2 days, but I feel like I'm gonna be destroyed. So I might take a little longer. Like, I might force myself to take a little longer to read this book because, like, this is gonna destroy me. I just know that. Now, I want to also read, or attempt to read. This one is maybe I'll read it, maybe I won't. It's called The Princess Will Save You by Sarah Henning. Sarah Henning. It's the first installment in the Kingdoms of Sand and Sky series. It says, don't mess with the crown. That's what it says right here at the top. And basically, when her father dies, Princess Ama, I don't know your name, sweetie, like, I'm sorry, is given an ultimatum: marry the leader of a neighboring kingdom or lose her crown and possibly her life. What? To force her hand, her beloved, the stable boy Luca, is kidnapped. But the princess, because we don't know her name, because I don't know how to pronounce her name, was raised to be a warrior, not a sacrifice, and nothing will stop her from saving her true love. So this is like literally, okay, so yeah, basically, you know, the title says that the princess will save you. I believe this is Luca, the stable boy, and this is the princess, Ama. I'm just gonna call her Ama. She must get married to someone else or lose the crown. This guy is kidnapped and she goes to save him. And I want to see that. Like, lately I've been on a fantasy mood, I guess, even though most of my books in my TBR are not fantasy at all. But like, these are books that I'm really excited to read, yeah. So I'm actually really excited for this one, but this might be like the last book that I read this month. I don't know why. I'm just way more excited for my other books than for this one. So we will see what happens. Next, it's Pride Month and I kind of wanted to read a LGBTQ representation book, and I already read a manga, which is I Cant Reach You by Mika. You know what, I actually have it, I just don't know where I put it. I already read this at the beginning of the month. It's I Cant Reach You by Mika. I love this, like, it's so cute, the panels. It's a really short read. Like, I need to get the other volumes because, you know, this does not complete the story at all, obviously. I'll talk about it in the June wrap-up, but yeah, I highly recommend a cute little manga about two childhood best friends who may or may not be developing feelings about each other. But aside from that, I wanted to read Ophelia after all. I think I feel really, at the beginning of the description, you know, I feel really compatible with Ophelia. It says Ophelia Rojas knows what she likes. Her best friends, Cuban food, rose gardening, and boys. Way too many boys. Her friends and parents make fun of her endless stream of crushes, but Ophelia is a romantic at heart. She couldn't change even if she wanted to. So when she finds herself thinking more about cute, quiet Talia Sanchez than the loss of a perfect prom with her ex-boyfriend, seeds of doubt take root in Ophelia's firm image of herself. So basically, this is a book about, you know, finding yourself, rethinking your sexuality, I guess, and just, you know, knowing that you get to rediscover yourself and like people's expectations don't really matter because this is gonna be your journey, and any changes that happens are because of you and because you want them to and because you accept yourself in the process. I guess I'm rambling a little bit too much, but yeah, I don't have many LGBTQ plus representation books and I want more. Like, I read Heartstopper, I read one that's called If This Gets Out, and I loved both. I have read White and Royal Blue, but I'm leaving that for another video because I wanna like, okay, you'll see in the future. Like, this book is so hyped up that I'm scared. Like, I want to read it. I'm really excited to read it, but like not in June, like for another video, I promise. Like, I promise. But yeah, this is my next June TBR pile. I'm really excited to read this one, honestly. Also, I love a good hardcover. It doesn't really have like a design, does it? No, it doesn't, but the color though, it's like this wine-ish purpley rose color. I don't know colors in English. I only know them in Spanish. Like, I know colors in English obviously, but like more in tune, like more specific colors, I know them more in Spanish. And I love how it says Ophelia after all here. Wait, oh, sorry. Like, it's so pretty. Like the roses, like the chapters, each chapter has like an opening theme with like the drawings of the roses, and I love it. It's like an overall theme throughout the story, I guess. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this. Let me just put this back. Now, for the final round, that's a lie, the second to last round. These are my two most anticipated reads for June. First off, Act Your Age, Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert. I am so excited to read this. I have a confession to make. First of all, I have not read Get a Life, Chloe Brown, or Take a Hint, Chloe Brown. Maybe I'm making a mistake, but I just, based on the synopsis, I don't feel like compatible with these characters, you know. But with Eve, you know, she's the kind of person that she doesn't put herself into a box career-wise. Like, she's like a person that's always changing careers, changing passions, because she hasn't identified herself with one specific thing to do, like with her calling. And that's something that I have been struggling with for a really long time, and I just really want to read Eve's story with, you know, this whole, like, I'm switching careers, I'm disappointing my parents with this because I'm not taking the most traditional route with declaring a major and sticking to that and graduating with that. Like, I'm constantly switching, like, I don't know what I'm doing, like, I just want to find my thing, but it's like this pressure that society expects us to, like, choose one thing for the rest of your life and go with it, when Eve just is like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, I need to find something that is actually good for me and it makes me happy, and if that takes 6 or 5 career switches, then so be it. And so I'm really excited to read this. Obviously it's a romance, so, you know, like, let me read a little bit. Eve Brown is a certified hot mess. Same, girl. No matter how hard she strives to do right, her life always goes horribly wrong. Horribly wrong. So she's given up trying. But when her personal brand of chaos ruins an expensive wedding, her parents draw the line. It's time for Eve to grow up and prove herself, even though she's not entirely sure how. Jacob Wayne is in control. Always. Ugh, opposites attract. I love that. The bed and breakfast owner is on a mission to dominate the hospitality industry, and he expects nothing less than perfection. So when a purple-haired tornado of a woman turns up out of the blue to interview for his open chef position, he tells her the brutal truth. Not a chance in hell. Then she hits him with her car, supposedly by accident. Yeah, right. So basically, because of that, he needs all the help he can get, so he hires her, and, you know, they get to know each other. Like how it says here, she's sunshine, he's serious, they're enemies for now. Enemies to lovers, opposites attract. We love that. Also, we love Eve. Like, I do not need to declare a major yet. Bear with it. Yeah, I'm really excited for this one. Like, I know I'm going to annotate this book. Like, I can feel it. Like, with the quotes, with the realizations, with the epiphanies. Like, I can feel like I'm gonna annotate this book. So, yes. And finally, my most anticipated read. Okay, so in the month of May, I started reading the Mortal Instruments series by Sakanda. Okay, so in the month of May, I started reading the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. I read City of Bones and I fell in love with it. So now, I'm reading the second one, City of Ashes. I am not going to, like, tell you what this is about. Like, you should know already by now, I guess. If you've been living under a rock, basically, there's this world within our own that is called the Shadow World, and Clary, the main character, does not know about the Shadow World, but her mother was part of the Shadow World, but her mother, like, escaped the Shadow World, and now everything is biting back at her, basically. Like, a lot of things happen where her mother disappears, Clary is lost, basically. She finds Jace, which is a shadow hunter, and she just wants to find her mom, but everybody's after her mom and Clary because of something called the Mortal Cup, which is something like a mortal instrument that is really important with the Shadow World. And a lot of things happen where she basically needs to find herself, find her calling, where she's like, she needs to be a shadow hunter because that's what she was meant to be ever since she was born, even though her mother tried to hide that world from her. And this is the second installment, which I'm really excited about. It left us in a bit of a cliffhanger, but at the same time not. Like, at the end of the first book, there was this huge plot twist, which you probably already know what it is, and you probably already know that, you know, you want to keep reading to find out more about it. So I am going to keep reading, and I might be doing a Mortal Instruments reading vlog where you will get to see all of my reactions, my reviews, what I think about the books as I'm reading. So yeah, it may take a while because there are 6 books in the series. I'm only on the second one, but I am really excited for it. So yeah, this is literally my most anticipated read. It might be my next read for June. Like, I just finished Verity and I might read this one next because I cannot wait. So yes, guys, that is it. That's my June TBR, all the books that I would really love to read in June. These ones are really anticipated. I'm actually really excited for a lot of them. So we will see in the June wrap up how faithful I was to my June TBR. With that said, thank you so much for sticking by, and, you know, remember to subscribe down below for more bookish content, and I'll see you guys in my next video.